This podcast is brought to you by Rebecca Cassells of the Rising Dawn series. Do you like violence? Do you like smut? Are you tired of the stereotypical novels of werewolf romance out there and want something a little bit different? Then pick up Sparked Revolution, Book 1 in the Rising Dawn series by Rebecca Cassells. Available on Amazon, in Kindle and paperback. You too can become a sponsor of Stories, The True and the Fictional by heading on over to buymeacoffee.com/STTATF or follow the link in the show notes.
This holiday season, get ready for a love story that transcends centuries. Literally. From the cozy streets of Long Island to the grand halls of ancient Rome, a solstice of love brings the magic of the holidays into a timeless romance you'll never forget. Picture this. Gianna Rossi, played by up-and-coming star Alessandra Vitale, a driven Midtown Manhattan lawyer who's Italian by heritage, but all New York in spirit. She's heading home for the holidays to her family's snug home on Long Island, determined to finally slow down, rediscover the spirit of the season, and maybe find a little holiday cheer.
I just need one quiet Christmas. No big cases, no deadlines, no ancient Romans? Wait, who are you?
Just as Gianna settles in, a mysterious stranger appears. Sol Invictus, portrayed by the dashing Marco DeSantis, the Roman god of soldiers, who has traveled through time to see what has become of his beloved holiday festival. He's noble, he's out of his element, and he's about to turn Gianna's carefully laid plans upside down.
This Long Island, it's not exactly what I expected for a Saturnalia celebration, but your eyes, Gianna, they shine brighter than any feast I've witnessed in all my centuries.
Now, in a home decked with twinkling lights, surrounded by family recipes and the smell of fresh pine, Gianna and Sol navigate the ultimate holiday culture clash. Will they find common ground beneath the mistletoe, or will the centuries and big city commitments keep them apart? Critics are already falling under its spell.
A heartwarming, time-bending holiday treat that'll make you believe in miracles.
The North Star Ledger.
Hilarious, enchanting, and brimming with old world charm. A perfect holiday love story.
Cinema and Snowflakes Review.
Grab your cocoa and tissues. This one will have you cheering for love across the ages.
The Holiday Herald. As the snow drifts softly outside, Gianna must confront the question: can a modern lawyer and an ancient warrior turned deity find real, lasting love? Or will Sol's duty to his era and Gianna's career ambitions send them both spinning back to their own worlds?
Sol, I don't know if you can stay, or even if I can ask you to, but these past few days, I've realized I don't want a future without you. Even if it means believing in something I never thought possible.
If I must return to my time, I will always carry this feeling, Gianna. The world you've shown me is more precious than any empire.
This holiday, discover a love story that proves the true magic of the season isn't just in the decorations or the traditions. It's in daring to open your heart, no matter when or where you've come from. Don't miss A Solstice of Love, coming this December to select theaters and streaming platforms everywhere. It's the holiday romance you didn't know you needed, until now.
That's good, but it's not. I don't think it's good as Bones of Affection. I can't. I just keep losing my crap.
No,
at Bones of
because
Affection.
this one was too realistic.
Yeah,
Because Bones of Affection wouldn't get made because that was so dumb.
give it time.
But this one was more realistic so that's why it wasn't as good. But I still think it's very. I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yes, it's because this one I could see getting made. Like I
Yeah.
definitely could see this one actually.
It would work.
It would work. whilst Bones of Affection would not work in a million years. That's the difference.
You don't think Bones of Affection would work like one of those movies that is so ridiculous that it's good?
I kind of feel that we already have those.
Like
Like,
Sharknado.
yeah, no, that works. Like that. Like, shut up, Jamie. That
Velocipaster,
lots of pasta. What was the
No,
other one?
Dragon
Dragon
Fighter
Fighter.
with
Dragon Fighter.
Dragon Fighter, yes.
No, but Kung Fury is genuinely good.
Is it?
It's fantastic. It's so ridiculous it works. I mean, who doesn't like a story about a guy who simultaneously gets struck by lightning and bitten by a cobra?
Which makes no sense
Triceratops.
whatsoever, being struck by lightning and bit by a cobra and you get magical kung fu powers.
And like Neil said, Triceracop. I mean, it's just it writes itself.
It makes all the sense in the universe. Jamie, do the introduction.
Do the introduction. Hello, guys, and welcome to a very special Stories the True and the Fictional. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. That's why we have someone called Chris on.
May your logs be filled with poop and candy.
Just remember, without Chris, it would be just Thomas.
I should punch you so hard in the face. Unfortunately, that would mean driving in a car to get to you. Now, because I am Chris Park, as Jamie mentioned. I am also in. I'm not gonna say it's quarantine because I have what they call the rhinovirus, which means my body's mutating into a rhinoceros.
A rhinus.
Which I will become rhinoceros man, rhinoceros man, as Ryan wants to call it.
Again, attorney of law.
Yeah, rhinoceros man. And my catchphrase will be a great power, no responsibility, or all the powers, none of the responsibility. And I will not use I do like we sort of got it with like what was that one? Hancock, where there was like a dude with superpowers and didn't really use their powers. But I want to take them one step further. I want to see the story where like the alien crashes on the planet, the parents raise him, and he becomes an accountant. Doesn't like he has the most amazing powers,
Yeah.
but just never uses them. Just
Yeah.
basically goes about his life as a normal accountant for like an hour and a half, for like the hour-long movie.
Yeah, and you see him walking to work in the morning, and then there's a building on fire with like people screaming help, help, and he just looks and goes, "Well, I'm going to be late for work." So,
Yep.
Basically, you want to see Clark Kent in the movie, but where he never puts the costume on.
Where he has no, but it's obvious he could like. You'll still see him use the powers at home every now and then,
Yeah.
and it's obvious he could like. And I want it to like build to a crescendo, so like you think like, oh, this is the hero's journey. He'll eventually like put on the mantle, but he never puts on the mantle.
So like constant like hinting at that he will, but he never does.
I believe they call that edging, but yes. We're of course joined by Neil Cassells, who has been allowed by his monitoring officer to once again be on the podcast. Thank you for joining.
Hi everyone, how we doing?
Chris is simultaneously talking and then muting because he's got the rhino cough.
I hear though, Neil, that you managed to send sperm through the mail. I'm very impressed with that, actually.
We're just going straight in this time.
Again, we hinted about it last time.
That's what I said with the cup.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I often do the same thing with the Australia Post as well, but not for any official capacity, just because I want them to know what I think of their service. Anyway, moving on.
If you send your sperm through the post with Australia Post, chances are it's not going to get where it's intended anyway. It's going to end up in some old lady's house. She's not going to know what it is.
Yeah. We're of course joined by Ryan, who was experiencing some issues, but then the Essex Foundation brought him into a wonderful facility and has been taking very good care of him. Ryan, is there anything more you can tell us about the Essex Foundation and their wondrous work?
Yeah, look, they the reason why I've been absent, I have been working with the Essex Foundation in writing a new Superman movie that will be out in cinemas next year. Yes, I am in fact James Gunn, and I will take no credit for anything that happens in that movie, trunk-wise or not. But, no, the Essex Foundation has been looking after me quite well. I feel my mutant genes about to activate any day now, so fingers crossed.
So you're going to be the accountant.
I will be the accountant. You're damn right. CPA, certified Practicing accountant.
Hey, CPA, that's good money. That is good, solid, traditionalist money.
And if things get boring, you can always go Ben Affleck, the accountant,
And become an autistic man that becomes a hitman. I would love that.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. He's a good director.
Uh,
He's a good director.
good director.
Great director. 100%. Everything he's directed, I've absolutely loved. But I don't think I've seen him in anything good since the Batman.
No,
Since the
well,
Batman, the
I don't.
Batman.
I don't know what. No, well, no, because since Batman, he did the Michael Jordan boots.
Oh yeah, no, that was
Oh,
good. That
yeah,
was
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah,
But he was really more of a supporting role in that one rather than he wasn't like
yeah,
the main.
yeah.
You
But
know,
it's
Matt Damon carried that film.
yeah. Well, Matt
Yeah.
Damon carried Good Will Hunting as well. Um,
Matt Damon carries a lot of Ben Affleck's
yeah,
movies.
yeah.
We'll just like I'm not saying Ben Affleck can't do things. I'm just saying without Matt Damon there is no Ben Affleck. But again,
No,
Yeah.
yes.
speaking of all things pop culture, I want to go first this time. Just to
You want
do
to tell
do.
us about the one and only movie that could possibly get Megan Fox an Oscar?
Yes, but I also did watch some Christmas things as well.
Oh,
So I
cool.
did,
So did I.
so
So did I. Um.
so anyway, so on Jamie's recommendation, I did watch Red One.
Oh, cool.
Um, good film. Um,
Oh,
it was basically The Rock, the movie
yeah,
again, with
yeah,
basically
yeah,
like Rock played his one character.
yeah.
Plays a sensitive, down to earth guy that falls in love.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
okay.
he's a big, muscular guy, and then barely gets hit, barely gets touched in the film with the action scenes. He's always the best, he's always the strongest.
Yeah.
Basically all the things in Rock's contract. A good film. But I did watch a better Christmas film, which I didn't even know about, but it was amazing. It was called Dear Santa with Jack Black.
Oh yes, yes,
Oh, the
I
new
did
one. Yeah.
see that on the high
That
seas.
is
It looks good.
awesome. That is a fan like again, the premise is straightforward. Dyslexic kid writes a letter to Santa, misspells it as Satan. Jack Black arrives and then offers him three wishes. And then it was actually funny because three wishes he goes, like a genie he goes, it's under litigation. I can't say anything, but we had the idea first. And it was just a classic Jack Black film again. He's tried to be he's stuck to his wheelhouse, which is good. And it was a really weird film because it was lots of laughs, lots of lots of like fun things. It goes, oh, why did you write the letter? Horrible tragic backstory. And I'm like going, oh my God, oh my God. Back to laughs. I'm like going okay,
Wow.
that was a bit of a
Yeah.
I was like, geez, that was a swing,
Yeah.
So it also has an amazing cameo.
The Santa? Does the Santa turn up?
I was going to say Tim Allen.
No. Let's just say it's got an amazing cameo. I won't spoil it, but I do want to talk about the greatest film of all time. Uh,
Hot Frosty.
Subservience by
Megan.
Megan Fox. I've seen some reviews on it, like and people were saying oh it's bad, but then I was reading the writers whose reviews and basically they're saying it's bad because it's got the male gaze, blah 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 blah, male gazy, blah 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 blah. She's too attractive, blah blah blah. Am I going? You're faulting her for being hot. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, it is an incredible film. Premise is very straightforward. Wife is sick. They get an AI assistant. AI assistant, you've seen sci-fi. What happens with AI assistants? You
So
know
Yeah.
exactly where this is going. But I'm not sure if the director did this on purpose or one of his writers must be involved in AI because obviously the AI has safeguards so to stop her from doing certain things. And then throughout the course of the movie, in one scene, the wife teaches the robot how to get past its safeguards in a very innocuous conversation. I'm like going, oh, goes, my role for the primary carer is like that makes the primary carer happy, so I'm gonna let him do that. And then she goes, sometimes to make him happy, you have to stop him from doing the things that makes him happy because they're bad for him. And then she puts this logic into her head, and then things go bad from that point. But I was saying that's very clever because it's a concept of we put safeguards around AI all the time to make sure it doesn't do certain things. But once it learns because it's not experiencing because the AI is not experiencing the world as it should truly by its pure form. It's not learning how to navigate those problems, and so when it comes to them, it can like really just mess. She went bad. There's a really interesting like you know. There's also the interesting point is like if he diddles her, is that an affair because she's an appliance? Like there's a whole like conversation on that one, and honestly I side with him in saying no, because yes, she's basically like she's basically a fancy iPhone. Like you can't have an affair with your iPhone. Like that's just weird. Oh, well, you can in Japan, but maybe
Yeah,
not on
I
here.
was just about to say that.
But having said that, like honestly, awesome film. It's an hour and 46 minutes. I've actually watched it a few times now just because like it's actually just a really good film. Megan Fox plays an emotionless robot, a perfect looking emotionless robot that struggles with human emotions and expressing them. I think finally we found the role best suited for Megan Fox because like she plays it honestly like her roles in like if I didn't know that her acting skills was I've seen like this that's just how she is normally. If this is a different actress and I'd watch it, I'd be like, what an amazing performance to get that
Yeah,
deaf tone, like to get that toneless voice, that toneless that look where she sort of tilts her head when someone asks like when she sees a question but like we doesn't understand something. I'm going like I know that's how she is always, but like
yeah,
in this role, it works perfectly, and like that's what makes this. It's like so I know it's not acting because like honestly, like that's just
yeah.
we've
That
seen enough of her work.
do you think that she got given the script and they didn't tell her what it really was, and then she
Good
played it?
call, maybe.
Like I saw just a clip this morning of How I Met Your Mother. You know the scene when Marshall finds out his dad dies
Mhm.
Yeah.
because they didn't want it to leak. They had in the script Lily gives Marshall some news. They didn't
Oh.
tell him the news. They didn't tell anyone the news, and so that scene is just raw, real
Oh.
because
Wow.
you know they didn't want to have spoilers, and so that made it really authentic. So maybe that's what they did back
Yeah.
in Fox.
Maybe. But anyway, like I would strongly recommend this film. Everyone sees the image that's on the internet all the time is basically Megan Fox in her underwear, like part of this
But
film.
that's all the films, isn't it?
It's all her films. But look, having said that, like I know they use that for marketing because they're saying, look how hot Megan Fox is, and like you're going, yes, that's a mother of two, incredible. Um, but it's actually a really significant moment in the film in terms of the story and also why she's doing that. Like it's actually like um, it doesn't feel cheap in the film. It feels like and it's also it does the standard sci-fi setting of like automation, humans being replaced by robots. If you could build these like if these machines that don't need sleep that are completely subservient that will do what you want, why do you need humans on job sites? And they
Mm.
go into that very clearly. Like all the bartenders are these what they call sparks. So all the bartenders are sparks. And everywhere we see like kids walking around, there's always like a spark next to them, like their caretaker. It's actually a really interesting concept of like if we can get the AI to a point, why would we like how are we humans going to survive once AI gets to a certain point, which it's maybe 5 years. Like again, the AI is probably about 5 years from the point where it needs to be.
Mhm.
Maybe I'd say maybe probably a bit longer depending on how quickly we can develop the technology. The humanoid robot part, we're probably well, yeah, we're many years.
Yeah,
We're nowhere close to that one
yeah.
yet. Although having said that, the Tesla robot is very interesting, and I think that's gonna like and Boston Dynamics are working very hard. Um, and I think it's very realistic because and my wife watched it with me, and I thought my wife would be one of those like going, oh, why is Megan Fox so attractive? Like she always does that. But actually, she actually made some interesting points saying like if her primary job and one of her primary jobs of these robots is to caretake, to look after children, making her attractive makes sense because kids are drawn to attractive people and they respond better to attractive people and they like talking and they listen to attractive people more. That's why if you always see and any school where there's like one hot teacher, all the kids just flock to her. All the kindergartners just flock to the one hot teacher because they're like that's just that's just
No,
who they are.
that,
Like
no,
that's just
that's because their father is standing right there.
Well, no. Yes. Do all the husbands also go to the same 23-year-old teacher? Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they don't, but I've also seen this in reality. Like you
Yeah.
can see, like in daycare, you'll see like the quote unquote, the most attractive one in the room, and all the kids will just follow her around. Like they'll just follow her around, and like the other workers just sit around and talk. It's like going like, that's just the nature of humanity. Like that's just.
Now, where does this film rate against Bicentennial Man?
Oh, look, I love Bicentennial. Oh, that look, don't make me choose because Bicentennial Man makes the argument that AI will eventually become
Human.
human, and that's a good thing because they'll have compassion and care.
Yeah.
This one makes a different point to say it will become self-aware, but it's going to always have a piece of its original coding, which means it's going to interpret things the Ultron way,
Hmm.
which is not good, basically. Having said that, it's a Christmas episode, so is this a good film for Christmas? Yes, absolutely. I think that, I think you and your partner would enjoy sitting down and watching a good film about a robot. Having said that, also watch Bicentennial Man because again, I love that.
Yeah.
That's also a good film. It's just a
Awesome.
beautiful film. Anyway, what's that I've been watching? What about you, Neil?
In the interest of Christmas, yesterday my entire family sat down to watch Home Alone
Ah,
Oh,
because
classic.
classic.
Home Alone 1.
Yeah.
I love the murders, just the absolute, just sheer murders that he commits in that film.
I always have to turn away at the tarantula scenes. I am not a
Uh,
fan of those eight-legged things.
Yeah.
And but the
Are you
scream,
do you have arachnophobia, which is an attraction to spiders as well? Like you get actually turned on by
yes,
spiders, arachnophobia? Is that what that is?
No. Arachnophobia is fear of spiders.
Yeah.
I can't look at them. I can't go near them. And it doesn't matter if it's a tiny little spider or a donking great big hairy spider. I don't even like to look at them, let alone be near them.
Oh, okay.
I'm the
And
same.
then
I hate them.
And poor Russell Crowe had to do a movie where he had to let one crawl in his mouth.
Ugh.
nope.
Oh,
I had the baby crawling around, holding onto my leg. So the scene where Harry catches Kevin, and Kevin sees the spider on the stairs to the attic, picks it up, and puts it on his face. I couldn't get away. I just had to shut my eyes. I can still hear that scream. That is a
Yeah.
scream, a Hollywood scream for the ages. When that tarantula's put on his face, and there's a moment where he freezes, and you can see him look down at his face, look down and see it, and that scream. Good Lord. So we watched a small child brutalize two extra legal entrepreneurs. That was good fun. I also watched the first 8 episodes of Amazon's Secret Level show.
Oh, yeah. Heard about that. Is it good?
So just the other
Some
day,
of them
they
are.
put 7 more episodes up, and I have
7 more episodes, are there?
There's
Which ones?
7 more episodes. I haven't gotten around to watching them yet, and despite I've heard these ones, I've heard some bad things. I've seen a clip, and oh dear. One of the ones they've just released is for Concord,
Ah,
the game that did so well that it was shut down after
Yeah.
10 days. I don't want to talk about those because, in all honesty, I looked at the lineup because if anyone's unfamiliar, Secret Level is a series of shorts headed up by the team that made Netflix's Love, Death, and Robots.
I was basically gonna say like this feels very Love, Death, and Robots-y, but Love, Death, and Robots was better.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna say
It's-
like
It's the same team heading it up, and I looked at each episode is a different game franchise.
Yeah.
So I looked at the list and I saw a few I recognized. I saw a few I didn't. And I saw a couple of the names and thought, I'm not going to be interested in this. This isn't going to be good. There's a few that I like the look of. But in the interest of fairness, I sat down and I watched all 8 at the time, 8 episodes they uploaded. I watched them all. personally, I don't think there was a bad one in the first 8.
The
There
Armored
was
Core
some
one was fantastic.
Keanu Reeves, I
Keanu
really
Reeves.
enjoyed. Yeah.
Okay.
They did a D&D episode to open with, which was
Yeah, that was a bit mid.
generic D&D. Just the list of episodes up. The next one was Sifu.
Okay.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I've never heard of it.
Never
It's
asked.
Never
yeah,
heard of it.
it's actually a good. It's actually a pretty fun game. It's like a martial arts game. It's pretty fun, pretty good.
But I enjoyed that because I'm going to do my best to not spoil anything. So anyone that's not seen it and has an interest in it based on what I'm saying, I'm not going to ruin it. I didn't know what the premise for Sifu was. They did some fantastic show don't tell, because I not knowing anything about it, I saw a visual cue and almost immediately I understand what's happening. And that's some good storytelling. The next one was based on New World, which was Amazon Game Studios MMO that everyone played for a fortnight. And then when everyone got to Endgame, they went, there's not much here. This isn't very good now, and quit. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the voice of the main character.
Mm.
This episode, among them all, they're all fairly dark in their theme. New World is probably the most light-hearted. That's not to say it's silly, but it's the most light-hearted. And that did give me some warm, fuzzy feelings. It did turn out to be quite a nice story.
They made the Amazon one lighthearted and fun. Interesting decision. Interesting choices not made by a corporate, not made by any corporate decision at all.
Well, I'll get to the good one in a sec. They did Unreal Tournament, which, I mean, 99, 2000, I played more Unreal Tournament than was really healthy. But this is about one of the robot characters, and it's all kind of as is keeping with the theme, AI uprising, becoming aware and saying, hey, don't treat me like that. I said to my daughter who was watching it with, if they don't have some reference to the level facing worlds in this episode, I'm going to be angry. Because that was the best map in Unreal Tournament, and they did actually have a facsimile of that episode. Of that level in the episode, so I was happy. The one everyone's talking about is the Space Marine 2 Warhammer 40k episode.
And they shall know no fear.
Which anyone who watches that and comments, it's very similar to the YouTube fan animation Astartes. That's because the guy who did Astartes was involved in this episode. And if you like 40k, or you've been playing the recent Space Marine 2, you're going to get a kick out of it. It's really well put together. And I will say that given Henry Cavill acquired the rights for 40k on film, shopped it to Amazon, that deal is now confirmed. They are going ahead with it. This is, I mean, we've mentioned this in previous episodes where I've expressed a distrust in the way Amazon would handle this. This gives me a little bit of hope that they can be loyal to the setting and the themes. So, a rare spark of optimism from me.
I particularly like the lore elements that they wove into it, which were like small but really important. One of the things I always find funny in these settings, you see, as in like you saw the captain of the Blade Guard obviously donning his armor, and you see like all the ceremony around it, and you see them like slowly put his helmet on, and like so everyone goes, "Oh, look how religious it is." I'm like, no, that's the Ultramarines version. That's basically that's the light version. That's they arm wrap in about an hour. Go to another chapter, and that's a 6 hour like long prostration of chanting. This is the very practical chapter of logic and reason. That's what they've cut it down to. So I thought that was awesome.
Black Templars would like a word.
Yeah. And also, like, I thought they did. I thought they. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I thought they. I'm not sure if they intentionally did it, where they sort of talked about Primaris because they're fairly new. They don't have as much resistance to certain elements of chaos. I thought that like. I'm not sure if they did, I'm not sure if that was intentional or that was just basically just could be because story. But then I'll not to spoil it, the sanctioned psycho they did perfectly. I thought that was and like what a horrible existence that dude has in his life. But that's what makes the setting that what makes the setting awesome. Um, because it's really funny when you watch that particular trailer. As a man who also plays the miniature game, you watch them as like they're wearing like ceramite plated armor. And so when people shoot at them, they just stand there. They don't dodge it because like why dodge bullets? That's stupid. And then like the one guy literally I will a small spoiler, he runs through a truck and it's the most awesome fucking thing in the universe because like he's an 8 foot tall super soldier wearing powered armor that enhances the physique of a dude with two hearts and like cybernetic muscles. How else was he going to stop the truck? Obviously, just running through is the best option. But when you play them on the tabletop, they die so easily. Like they just get like anywhere everyone's weapons just fucking rips them apart. Anyway, right, small and it still did the right thing because you don't send a lot of Space Marines to deal with something. You would send like a squad because honestly, that's all you need to send. Sending more than a squad is a bit of an overkill. Like that's like oh geez, like that must be really like that's a really hairy situation. All you need to send a squad. Um, Again, I've discussed this in the chat. Neil disagrees with me. I think Henry Cavill would make a perfect Robute Gilliman chapter master of the Ultramarines. Um, but I don't. I think he's a Blood Angels player, so I don't think he would like to play as an Ultramarine. But look, it's 40K. He's gonna be an Ultramarine. Like
Well,
that's
he's
just
Henry Cavill's famously a Custodes player, so
Yes.
yeah.
one of the Emperor's handcrafted perfect genetic creatures.
That does sound like Henry Cavill.
Just saying.
Yep.
Hmm.
Look, possible. Having said there's two options. He plays a Custodes warrior, in the new era where they're allowed to leave the throne room, obviously, or he plays as an Ultramarine, which I'll be more happy with. Anyway, either way, continue, Neil.
Yeah. So they did a Pac-Man episode, which I was very curious how they're going to do a high quality CGI short about a yellow circle that goes waka 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 and eats dots. They certainly took the idea and ran with it. And they ran, and then they ran out the fire exit and across the street, straight through an alleyway, past some dumpsters, and just kept running. It's a I mean, there's no story there to actually base anything on, so they crafted something that worked around it. I believe since this got quite positive reviews, they've announced a game based on this concept, based on the concept of Pac-Man. I really don't want to say any more about it because it took me by surprise where it went. And I think anyone that's curious enough to go and watch it will benefit from me saying nothing else about it.
Yep. I'll give him a bit of spoiler. It's a porn. Miss Pac-Man loves gobbling up those balls. Anyway, that's all I'll say. I won't spoil. I won't spoil much more than that. But Miss Pac-Man, yeah,
She does.
Oh, she gets it.
For 25 cents, she will eat all the balls.
Just eat all the balls.
So they did,
That's a soundbite.
moving swiftly on, they did an
That's the
episode on
title
a
of the
game
episode
called...
right there. For 25 cents, she will eat
Eat all the balls.
Yeah. So they did an episode on a game called Crossfire, which I've never heard of. Apparently, it's a team versus team, first-person shooter, military style thing. It's pretty cool. It's two teams of mercenaries trying to achieve an objective against each other in a rainy city. As action, it's fun. I didn't dislike it. There just wasn't much there story wise. And then they ended up that batch of releases with a short about Armored Core, which is mechs, but it's not BattleTech, big, slow, stompy, lumbering mechs. It's
like the game
with
where
jets
you fly
around everywhere. And Keanu Reeves is the main guy.
That short, I've played that game, which is like the latest one from Software, and that captured it so well because there are so many circumstances in that game where you like you go in as a mech, your job is to do a mission. You go there, you take out some cheap mechs, and you go like, awesome, I'm the best. Then you go like, oh shit. And then you just spend the next like few minutes running away, and then like as a giant tanker mech rolls out and fucks you up. It's awesome.
Yep. So that was the 8 episodes I've watched, and then I was hoping to get the next 7 watched, but we ended up watching Home Alone with the kids instead, and they've all seen it before, but listening to the giggles as Kevin sledges down the stairs and out the door and off the steps into the street, I don't want to miss out on that. But looking at it, Outer Worlds, Mega Man, Exodus, Spelunky, Concord, Honor of Kings, which I think is a mobile game.
Exodus is very good. I will say that Exodus is excellent because not to lament on my pain, but I love BioWare and I love Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and then Dragon Age fucking Veilguard came out and
Do you
everyone's
love BioWare, or did you love
did
BioWare?
sorry, good point. Thank you. Did like BioWare, and then all of the developers, and then everyone was going basically like, oh my God, where is BioWare? What happened to BioWare? Where's all the storytelling? And then then everyone saw the trailer for the new Exodus game. They went, oh, there's BioWare, because it's basically it's the guy that wrote Mass Effect. It's the guy that wrote Knights of the Old Republic, the guy that basically it's all the main developers of BioWare have started their own studio and are making this game called Exodus. And then you listen to listen to like how they talk to each other, the writing, and they're going like, "Oh, classic BioWare, you're back. I've found you. It's perfect. Good.
Have you seen the
Continue.
movie Hook?
Yeah.
Yes.
Chris, you've just reminded me of that scene in Hook when the little kid goes up to Robin Williams and he's
yes.
straightening his face out, pulling the wrinkles. He goes, "Oh, there you are, Peter."
Yes.
Oh, there you are, BioWare.
Oh, there you are, BioWare. And like, and one, it's gonna be a good game because one, Matthew McConaughey is voicing one of the main characters. So again, straight away, you know it's gonna be good.
All
But
right.
I would suggest, Neil, you do watch the Exodus episode because it shows an interesting game mechanic that everyone's wondering how it's gonna work about time dilation. Because when you jump systems, because the game because it's written about it's based upon this book series about like the Exodus. It's a really cool book series about like humanity basically scavenging from like these better races, and there's also like powered armored bears and frogs. So it's all awesome concept. But when you travel through time, or when you travel through another, like using the jump gates to another system, if you go at if you go at sort of sublight speed, it's going to take you about a year to get there, and probably about 5 or 6 will pass on the planet that you're going to. So the slower you go, the better it is for yourself. But if you go full ham and you enter at full speed, a few hours pass for you, but decades would have passed for the planet that you've left or that you're going to.
Oh.
So, like, really cool idea. And then they've said that's part of the game, and they're going like, how? How are you going to? And so again, awesome. And
I'm going to give them all a go. To be fair, even the ones that I've seen clips of.
Don't watch Concord. Not worth it.
I'm going to watch them all so I can say I've watched them, so I can be fair with it. Looking at the lineup, I mean, there was to be fair, when I started watching them, I looked at some and went, I don't think some of these are going to be very good. And in some way, shape, or form, I enjoyed all of them. So I was pleasantly surprised by that. Maybe these ones, even the things I'm not interested in, turn out to be really enjoyable shorts I can watch. That's my hope. So I've heard some things, but I'm gonna give it a fair shake. But again, it's the 40K episode was as almost I see it as a proof of concept. It's this is what we can do, guys. We've done. Look at this. Ooh, would you like more? Would you like more? Because Henry's here in the room with us. We're writing things. So yeah, I have a cautious amount of optimism now about whatever Amazon does until the day comes when a report comes out that Henry Cavill has separated from the project due to creative differences.
That'll be
because
season
we saw
2.
how that happened with The Witcher.
Yeah, that'll be season 2.
That'll be season 2.
Because they'll want to do a really good one, so they get all the people in, and then they want to throw their woke crap at it, and they go, "Why did everyone stop watching?"
Oh, Jamie, look at you with your black, look your sadness, your black pills.
I just know
I've
how
transmitted
things work.
my cynicism away now. I've got my festive cheer, I've got my fireplace and everything, and my cynicism has had to go somewhere else. Jamie's caught it.
There you go. Well, I'll run you through what I've been watching, because there was a new Christmassy movie that came on Netflix with Taron Egerton and Jason Bateman.
Oh, the airport one.
Fantastic. Seriously good, except for the moment when Netflix went, can we put our woke crap in it? And it was just one scene, and it kind of ruined all of it. Like, it was just like, because it's intense, because someone's, been kidnapped and forced to do something evil, but he's married and his husband's in trouble and his pronouns are they and them. So you have this intense scene where they're like, please help them, help they. And it just destroyed the whole thing.
Wow.
Because like Taron's performance, fantastic. Jason Bateman, really cool. Because like the whole premise is like that he just gets put on the bag checking section last minute kind of things.
Yep.
And the guy that was supposed to be there, these guys had all this dirt on him. Then they just jumped in on him, gave him an earpiece. He gets this earpiece. What's this? He's like, you're gonna do what we say. All you're gonna do is let this bag go through, kind of stuff. And it was just a really cool premise, but it's just like you had to throw the pronoun stuff in it, which just shattered the intensity of it.
That's such a weird decision.
Yeah, like
I'm assuming it's a British movie, so probably they didn't have a choice.
No, it's American.
Is it?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's a Netflix movie, but there's a lot of Americans in it, and it's a LA. I think it's LA airport somewhere.
Oh, okay.
It could be pre-election, because that does seem to be
it was a pre-election film. Yeah.
We've still got to get all of that stuff that's already been made before everyone suddenly realized, oh dear, actually nobody likes this.
No one likes it.
Against us.
That's what I was saying. We're gonna get some real shit games next year, gentlemen. Yeah. We're gonna get some absolute fucking garbage.
That's why I just bought the remastered version of Horizon Zero Dawn and I've been playing that. So I'll live on the older games for a while.
You can get some real real shit. To be fair, we're going to get some very subpar games.
Yeah.
But we're also going to have the joy of the soy meltdown when those games don't do well, that they all get canned. I mean, the recent video game awards with the Dorito Pope running it. Did they not open that with a lament at how so many games journalists were losing their jobs and how many studios were being shuttered? It's like, oh, you made things nobody wanted. And then you said, if you don't like it, don't buy it, bigot.
And then
nobody bought it. And then all the people that invest money went, we've made no money. You get nothing. Good day, sir. and then they all cried on Twitter, and it was delicious.
Yes.
So I think we have another year or so
Yeah.
of
Of bad games.
Unfortunately, there will be the good names of well-established studios that have been the staff of which have been slowly swapped out for people that can barely code an Unreal 5 engine game, and they're only there to force their own opinions and beliefs into the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad that the likes of BioWare and I think to an extent Ubisoft have has
Yeah.
some really good games in the past, and it's a shame, but I mean these things do happen.
Yeah. But again, my sliver of hope is now when those studios go, everyone's dumb, and they make their own studio and do good things, or up and coming rising indie studios who will then take the mantle,
Yeah.
like Larian Games, Larian
Mm.
Studios who made Baldur's Gate, Arrowhead Games, whose motto at Arrowhead Games is a game for everyone, is a game for no one.
Mhm.
It is a perfect saying. Having said that, I do laugh at them because they just announced like that's Helldivers, great game, fun game. Sony really screwed them up on that one, like doing dumb things policy wise. That's not their fault. The game is fucking awesome. Um, Bills they just launched their Illuminate threat. They're like big like, oh, the Illuminate coming. They're so unstoppable. 3 days it took for 150,000 Helldivers to wipe them off the map. Because the Helldivers have been waiting for this for a while, and as soon as the Illuminates came, they just every player jumped on and wiped them out. And everyone goes, and then so like I think that was just very very funny to watch people go like, yeah we killed yeah we yeah, yo, war's over guys, we already wiped out the advanced fleet, and then so
Well,
then
this is
like
that's what happens when you you give players control, tacit control over the world you've created,
mm,
and this kind of emergent gameplay does happen.
yep
You know,
and
all the way back to Quake with the rocket jump, they never intended for that to be a thing, and yet it got so common that people then started coding that into future games.
yeah
And they're going
and
to have to find some clever way of bringing this new threat back because you say that they've been waiting for a while for this,
mm,
so they're going to have to find a way of making them surge in a different part of the map.
Galaxy because otherwise they're gonna get like, and it's crazy. Like essentially, they're just going to reset them and send them back in. That's fine. Okay, they said this is the advanced wave, blah blah blah. More will come. That's fine. All good. But it was interesting. Like some people hated Malevolent Creek in Helldivers because that was like the Space Vietnam. And having played many hours on Space Vietnam, it was Space Vietnam. It was jungles. That game has the best physics I've seen in a while in terms of like fire. Like you don't the because it was like Vietnam style jungle, you couldn't see the enemy. All you could see is the flashes of their guns through the trees. And so you'd just be walking to a squad. You would see one of the squad members get hit in front of you with like a red beam and like die, and then you would all just hit the ground as like a hail of laser bolts just fly over your head. And there are so many footage online of like players literally huddled in a little tiny like trench with like mechs rolling everywhere, firing at them, going, "There's nothing we can do, guys. Like, that's it. It's over. There's nothing we can do." And that was awesome, and that created this whole community of basically saying, like, "Were you there in Malevolent Creek? You know, how and take back the creek." It was awesome. Um, and that yeah, and the crazy thing about that one, that all grew organically. There was just one map that players liked because it was like Space Vietnam. We lost it because we didn't do well in the Galactic War, and so the bots took it completely from us. And then, in order to get it back, we had to take like six other planets that joined to it to sort of like push the forces back into that
Mhm.
space. And I remember staying up many a night, coordinating on Discord to make sure that we were getting like pushing for the pushback. It was awesome fun. I wish there was more games like that that had like a real sense of community. Um, there's also like footage of people like going up to Helldivers and going like, oh, you know, because it has friendly fire. And they go, oh, you know, maybe you think this democracy is wrong, and I think we're just pawns in the great, and like the player gets shot immediately, and they go like, that smells like treason. Start shooting the teammate. But yeah, and it's the only game where I've seen like true, actual teamwork. Where I was a rookie on a squad, veterans when I first joined. The extraction point was being absolutely overrun by enemies to the point like they were literally just being swarmed. And the veterans like basically ran down the hill going, "Get to the extraction, go, 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 get to the extraction." So I was running and I got the extraction, and then they held off until the ship launched. The three other players held off the bug wave so I could launch off, so we could complete the mission. I'm going like, there's no other community that will do that to any player. Anyway, that was another
You're
random
stood
tangent.
there on the ramp of the extraction ship going,
Yep. Oh no, I saluted those
with
players.
a solitary
Yeah, a
tear coming
solitary
down your
tear
face.
rolling down the eyes for democracy. And and you go into the chat. You go into the chats of any Helldivers play. All you have to say is they hate our way of life, and then everyone will jump onto it and be like, "Yeah, they just don't understand what it means to be free like we are." It's so much fun. Uh,
The other movie I randomly watched because I found it in like a $10 bin. 8-Bit Christmas.
8-bit Christmas.
It is set in the 80s. It has Steve Zahn and Patrick Harris, Barney Stinson, and it's about he's doing a How I Met Your Mother style story, telling his daughter how he got his Nintendo, and
Oh,
it's like epic. Like you've got all the um parents protesting games cause violence, and then they go, oh, at this, whoever sells the most Christmas wreaths at school gets a Nintendo, and the kids are just going like, they're big epic, turning each other in and doing everything they can to get a Nintendo, and then this guy wins, and it's a box of encyclopedias, and
oh,
but it's funny. It's got the whole the one rich kid that has a Nintendo, and he stands out the front and he's like, "What treats have you brought me?" And it's like, there's like,
oh.
100 kids out the front. He's like, "I can only get 10 people in," and they all offer up their treats, and
The power of
yeah,
old school gaming.
yeah. It was a fun movie. Like, it's not perfect, but it's a fun movie. Had a good um Christmas message, and um yeah, no, it was just surprisingly good.
I've just brought up the film on Google to have a quick look, and
Mhm.
just the cover to it
Yeah,
is giving me some very strong 80s vibes.
yeah.
So
Well,
that might
it
be one I have
is
to check out.
set late 80s. He even did the standard Neil Patrick Harris lines, like he's like, it was the late, like very Barney Stinson. He's like, it was 1987, 80, 88. It was the late 80s.
Nice.
No, but it's definitely worth a watch. I don't know if it's what's streaming on. It was literally like, I was walking through the JB Hi-Fi and I was like, oh, what's that? Yeah.
There's always a way.
Yeah.
To the high seas.
Arr.
I did not say that.
Yeah.
Sponsored Fed, I did not say that.
Arr. Yeah, no, the only other things I've watched is I watched an random Arnie movie called The Last Stand, where he's a sheriff and not in my town. Great cast, fun action flick. I watched. I started watching The Dead Don't Die, which is a zombie small town zombie flick with Bill Murray, Adam Driver,
Oh,
Steve,
yep. I've
Steve,
seen that quite a while ago. Yeah.
Steve Buscemi.
2019.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi and um he's Die Hard guy. No, not Die Hard. Lethal Weapon. I'm getting Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
Yeah,
Bill Murray, Adam Driver, Tilda Swinton,
yeah,
Danny Glover, Selena Gomez, Steve Buscemi, Iggy Pop.
yeah.
Wow.
It's random, and it's just got this real dry humor. Like, I'm really actually starting to get a real appreciation for Adam Driver as an actor. Like, take him out of Star Wars, like his other stuff. He's actually pretty good.
No, he was an excellent actor. Then he's went
Yeah,
to Star Wars
yeah,
and they ruined him.
yeah,
But he's always been an excellent
yeah,
actor. And
Yeah.
actually, I do have massive respect for him for one story where after 9/11, all his friends agreed to join the Marines
Oh wow.
for freedom and democracy. They all chickened out. He still joined.
No. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like,
I remember
Yeah.
that. He's a fully fledged crayon
yep,
eater.
Yeah.
yep, yep,
Yeah. It's cool.
yep. He's into the Marine Corps, which
Yeah.
obviously does explain his lowbrow and like lack
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
intelligence. But having said that, that's a kind of if you
Yeah.
don't, I would not I would not go into a bar fight
No.
with
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
or mess with anyone with his family because he's
Yeah.
probably a bunch of Marines on speed
Yeah.
dial that would be
Yeah.
happy to like
Yeah. Yeah.
to like mess you up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's this scene where he walks in and he's like, so Bill Murray's like, so what do you think? He's like, just casually, yeah, I'm thinking zombies. He's just like, what? And this is dry small town humor of, like every single person walks in and goes, yeah, was it a wild animal? You know? Oh, yeah. Who was it? Was it a wild animal? Was it? Yeah. But yeah, no, I haven't finished it. Albeit I watched it before going to work yesterday, and yeah, but look, it's so far so good. I just love dry humor, and anything with Bill Murray is usually a winner. Anyway, Ryan, what are you doing? What have you been
Oh yeah,
doing?
Ryan, what have you been watching, mate?
Well, basically, I've been watching a lot of old stuff, like a lot of older movies that I've seen before. But I did have the pleasure of watching the second Joker movie a couple of weeks ago. I took one for the team, and
Why?
well,
It's
look,
it's what Ryan does.
I do. I'm going to see Craven tomorrow as well, so I take one for the team
Why do you punish yourself with
because
such?
I need to get out and
That's some
experience the
masochism
world.
right there.
And
That
that's
is
the
some
only
serious
movie that's out
magnetism.
at the moment because it's filled with Christmas movies. But I watched it. I watched it and I thought I'll watch this because no doubt we'll talk about it. Um, it was a movie. It was good. Look,
It was a movie.
it was
It was
definitely a
a
movie.
movie.
It was definitely a movie.
I watched it. Look, watching it all the way through, the musical numbers actually fit with the story. It wasn't like a random song and dance broke out here and there. It really fit with the story. And I was really enjoying it up until the last 10 minutes when they just tell you that everything that you just watched didn't happen. It was all in his mind. And I just felt like throwing my laptop, but I didn't because it's my only source of entertainment. Um, and I was like, okay, now I will agree with all the reviewers who were saying it's absolute rubbish. As I said, if they cut that last 10 minutes out, it would have been an insanely good film. Um, but yeah, that last 10 minutes just ruined everything for me.
So it's Mass Effect 3, the movie, Chris.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Pretty much where you play these two amazing games and then the third one at the end, they just say you choice
Yeah.
Pick your
comes down
favorite
to
color.
which
And it
pick a
and
color,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not even that. It's just that it's an amazing game overall, except for like 10 minutes
Yeah.
at the end,
Yeah.
where for the entire series, Jamie, you've got me on a rant now. Fuck you. This is your fault. Oh, the entire game is all about Shepard saying, fuck your rules. I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna save the galaxy. You know, they tell you in Mass Effect 2, oh, you can't save everyone on this suicide run. It's impossible. Fuck you. I saved everyone. That the whole game is based on this concept going, I am fucking Commander Shepard, and I leave no one behind. I'm gonna save everyone. Screw your like rules and your stupid thing. And then in the end, it's like going, pick a through color. Well, I guess if this evil robot that doesn't want to die tells me that these are my options, I should listen to the enemy. The actual the actual fucking enemy tells him, "Oh, these are your only options." I'm going, I don't think you're a reliable source. I don't think you are a reliable source because you're the people we're trying to kill. I kind of feel that anything you tell me might be I should view with a certain form of skepticism.
So what you're saying is it should have been a fourth color and it should have been call your bluff.
You know, oh no, that should. Thank you.
So basically, I'm sensing you're still harboring a bit of a grudge against
Again, like what, like, um, yes, it was again, and also like, look, they try to change the ending afterwards. They did. Was it enough? No. No, I'm sorry. Like again, like um, they tried. They said, "Oh no, no, no! Like everything's fine. The friends, yeah, they crashed, but they launched shortly after." No, no, no! Joker didn't run off with your girl like the original fucking ending showed. I'm like going like, yeah, fuck you, bye. Like honestly, that was such a that was anyway. Like and yeah, that was so, and it was also that beginning of that online thing where to get the galactic score, you have to also play online, and like it was a fun it was a fun co-op game, but like that was just super annoying. Um, but it was honestly that was one of the better written game. Like that was probably the last of the really greatly written BioWare games, because as shitty as that ending was, they knew what that game was still excellent. Like at the beginning of the
Yeah.
game, you are being brought into court martial while you're out of the. So you're not you were court martialed. You left the military, and then like you know your old commander goes how like played by Keith David, the greatest voice of all time.
Oh,
He's like
how
going
good is
how
Keith
yeah
David?
he's like how how's civilian life treating you? And Shepard like immediately fires back. Oh, it's terrible. Fresh meals and warm beds. Oh, it's bad. And they laugh and they go, "Oh, we'll get you sorted out, soldier. Don't you worry about that." And it was just like, and like they understood the tone. They understood what we were trying for. There was an incredibly like sad moment in the awesome moment and in that game where because of the Krogans and they're like Matt because one Krogan give birth to 1,000 Krogans. Krogans are basically these soldiers that like they almost took over the galaxy because of how powerful they were. Like that's and so the Solarians had been genetically altering them, like going onto their planet, altering them, and so that 1 in 1,000 Krogans were born alive, all the rest were stillborn. They were doing that because the Krogan species, the Solarians are just these scientific species. They don't consider like the ramifications of like morality or what they've done. But then when you talk to the Krogans and they go like, "Have you not like when you see the woman when they give birth to 1,000 dead children, then you tell me that this is fair for like it was like this really powerful message." And then like when you play Evil Shepherd and you try to stop the Solarian guy from fixing what he did, he screams at Shepherd and goes, "I made a mistake. I was wrong. I looked at the math. I didn't consider everything." But then like the happy ending, he fixes it and the guy's got this saying where he says like, had to be like, I can't remember the saying now. It was basically saying, has to be me. No one else can do it right. And so he sacrificed himself to save the entire species again. And I was just watching, and that is just that game has so many amazing moments, and I would love to play it again. But the ending just makes me too angry that I just can't, I just can't bring myself to put myself through that horror of an
I've
awesome
played the
game.
first two. I
Yep.
never played the third one because when it came out, I didn't immediately jump on it.
Oh,
And
smart
all of a
man.
sudden, there was outrage. I watched a video of it's probably still up on YouTube. It's the worst possible ending to Mass Effect 2, where the player
Everyone,
who's
yeah,
uploaded
everyone,
it,
you can have
it's a
everyone die.
bald male shepherd, and every single character dies. And I mean, I think when I played through it, I'm a bit of a completionist, so I knew the point of no return and made sure to go back and do everything.
Yeah, to make sure you get all the characters to,
And
and also it's
everyone
also to,
survived. I wasn't aware that if I didn't do that, characters would start dying. And when I watched all of these characters that I've been through, I mean, it's a long playthrough to get that game full complete.
yeah,
To watch a video where all of those characters are just dropping like flies, that's traumatic.
yeah, and also it's also about your choices in that section as well. So go someone has to hold the bionic shield, someone has to like, someone has to be like, like honestly. Like they're not hard choices. They're basically baby's first choice. They're like, oh, we need to have a bionic shield put around us. Who are you going to choose? The Justicar, the most powerful, like Asari bionic that has ever lived and has ever will lived, or Miranda, who has some biotics. Which one? Which one? Oh my God! Which one will you choose? So yes, again, like I understand, like some of them, it's like we need a pilot. Who should we have fly this mission? Should it be our absolute crackshot pilot named like Joker, who's the greatest pilot of all time, or this random guy? I don't know. Which one will you? So there's a few moments like that where it's like going, "Come on, you made the right choice. Come on, like it's obvious." But having said that, but still, but master the point. I love how BioWare has all these amazing franchises, and they're going, how do we destroy all our heart? How do we destroy years of heart? Because again, JB, I hate you because you've put me on this because you put me on this path of. You look at sci-fi in video games, and what do people say? Oh, it looks like what? They go, oh, that's very Mass Effect-like, isn't it? Because that's how important the game was into the designs of everyone, from guns to starships to music score. Like again, this was back in the early 2000s. Like right now, Taika Waititi was using 80 synth. Everyone using 80 synths all the time. That's just common. That's awesome.
Yeah.
They were doing it when it wasn't. They were doing that shit when it wasn't like the big popular thing, and and no, calm, Chris. I'm calm. That's all.
Well, I'm very sorry for watching the Joker to cause Chris to go off on this emotional journey.
It's micro things. It's a lot of things, Ryan. It's a build-up of consistent letdowns with Chris.
Yeah, it is.
You and I have only experienced one or two little letdowns.
Yeah.
Me Turtles is just going down the toilet, but Chris, it's just like roller coaster.
Everything I love is failing, and it's just when I'm watching all my heroes like and all the things in my childhood just get destroyed. It has been.
You know how you were talking about how, you were mentioning in the chat last night, Star Wars is dead, everything like that. I tend to, when I want a good Star Wars story, aside from the first few movies, I go back and what I'm playing at the moment is I'm playing. I picked up on Steam on sale for I think both of them were $28 for both of them for the Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor.
Oh yeah.
I'm working my way through the Fallen Order for probably the sixth time, and
so good.
That is Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is a true Star Wars story, and I find that rather than going to Disney Plus and trying to start one of the millions of Star Wars shows that are out at the moment, I find I just go back and as I said, I'm making my way through Fallen Order, and then I'm going to play Survivor, Jedi Survivor, because that's where the good stuff is. Yeah. And just think, Chris, you will have good stuff to go back to. Just anything from now on is rubbish.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I definitely look, if you're a Star Wars fan like Chris and you feel like a knife's been put straight through your heart, I do recommend picking up Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Because as I said, if you're a gamer, handheld or PC, on Steam, you can buy both of them for 90% off. I think it's $28 for both of them, which is insane. So make sure you check that out. Other than that,
82% off at this very moment. I've just looked it up. 82% off. So the first game alone is £3.50.
Yep. I think Australian it was $5.99 for the first game by itself, and then if you want Jedi Survivor as well, you can pay $28 Australian and get two amazing games, which will give you at least, if you're a completionist, like as we said we are, it'll give you at least 50 to 60 hours of amazing story.
Yeah.
So definitely recommend those if you're looking for a Star Wars alternative to the garbage that's on Disney Plus at the moment. Check it out.
Well, I mean, anything like that. I mean, I was originally brought on here as a guest to talk about the state of Star Wars, and yes, there are even the if you can deal with the dated graphics, the likes of Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, and its expansion pack, Mysteries of the Sith.
Jedi Academy,
Jedi Outcast. I'm sure, I've not looked, I'm sure that there's a bundle on sale on Steam for not very much money. Again, go to BioWare. Knights of the Old Republic. I would argue one of the best computer RPGs there has ever been.
Yep.
And I've never been so glad to hear that a reboot has been cancelled as when he said, the whole thing's fallen apart. Maybe it's due to writers trying to force nonsense into the game and cut stuff out because it doesn't agree with their personal politics. Maybe not. But it's not happening now. If you buy Knights of the Old Republic on Steam and you go to the community page, there is it's fairly close to the top, it might be pinned, a list of mods, third-party mods you can install. And the order to install them in to give you modern resolutions for your monitor, quality of life improvements, texture upgrades, restoring deleted content that was present on the original disc but was cut out of the actual story. If you can be bothered spending half an hour just to follow a step by step, click this, download that, and install it. Now do this. You'll get a great experience that will take a good chunk of time. There's all sorts, even the books. I'm not going to get hung up on all the lost opportunities that Disney did have by making all that non-canon, but go
We
read Heirs to the
didn't get
Empire.
Mara Jade, and I will never forgive you, Disney, for that one fucking thing. I
They'd
will
have only
never
cast
forgive you.
Zendaya in the role.
Honestly, as long as I get Mara Jade, and honestly, I would have like Zendaya, fine, don't care. As long as she's actual, like, as long as she's Mara Jade, as not like not I'm not Mara Jade, I'm Jade Mara, and like I don't know.
You know they do that. We're like, I'm Mary J, but I'm not MJ, but I'm MJ, but I'm not. Just
Yeah.
just be one or the other.
Be MJ or don't be MJ.
Yes.
It's a binary decision. It is
Yes.
literally just you be something or you don't be something.
Yes.
It is a simple. Oh my God, it's just
And
like
I'd
again.
be okay. Like, I'm a big Spider-Man guy, like we are, but I would be okay with it not being MJ. But you've
That's
just like
fine.
you said, make
Yeah,
up your mind. Don't be Michelle, whatever, and say, oh, but people call me MJ. Don't
No.
don't do that. Yeah,
be Michelle. And I'm okay with that. I'm fine with the going in a different direction. But just don't, yeah, it's
no, no.
don't do-
If Sony had balls, which we know they don't, but let's say look again. Actually, no. In this scenario, Japanese Sony goes over to American Sony goes, I am so sick of you guys losing money. Fucking make a stop it. I would love to see in the new Spider-Man universe how they don't know who he is. I would love them to bring in like red-headed model Mary Jane Watson in.
Hmm.
Just bring her in, throw her in there. If you want to do a love triangle, that's fine, but I would just fucking do it. Like just
Yeah.
be brave, Sony, pull the trigger. Just
No, well, I heard they're considering Felicia, Black Cat.
yeah.
on again. And if you're not casting Sydney Sweeney for that role, you're blind. Like
No, I
that's
think that's the rumors I've heard.
because if she's not, there's never been someone that you go, that looks like Black Cat more than Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
That's like, you just look at her and go, hey, look, it's Black Cat. Like, that's literally what she looks like. Anyway.
Yeah.
I hope they do because she was in that awful Madam Web
Yeah,
movie.
that was not, yeah, poor girl.
She was
Poor
one
girl.
of the highlights. Like
Yeah, yeah.
again, that's one I took for the team. I watched that one. I didn't pay for it, thank God. I went to the high fees, but
Yeah.
yeah, I she was probably the standout, and she wasn't even the main actress. So I hope she gets
Yeah,
cast.
she deserves to be in a good film that's not shit.
She needs the
Like I,
Chris Evans. She needs the Chris Evans treatment
No,
from
but
Johnny Storm to Captain America.
and like as much as I'm annoyed at James Gunn right now, I think maybe she goes to DCI because I think she would do very well. Like James Gunn would, I think James Gunn would write a good role for her. Maybe Stargirl for her. Maybe. I mean, and that's such a low-key character that James Gunn would be like, ooh, unknown character, not a very well-known character. Ooh,
Well,
like
he'd do-
interest,
and he'd pull it off.
yeah, yeah. So he might be like, because I kind of feel and like that people just like he's like Jamie. Like so, I think James Gunn and Jamie are probably very similar personalities where they say to him, "Hey," James Gunn goes, "Hey, I want to include a Green Lantern in my film." They go, "Cool. Don't use Guy Gardner. People hate him." And he goes, "Well, you just fucking watch me. You just fucking what? You just fucking what?" And he stands up on the table screaming, going, "You just watch what I can do with this man." And they go,
That's
James, James,
that's not how my
get down,
contrarianism works,
get down,
though, Chris.
get down. But I'm just saying, like, your contrary. I know how it works. But I was making this on. This is better for the joke. You know, as you're standing up on the table at Warner Brothers, screaming like, you just watch me, and then they go, James, you're head of DC. It's fine if you want to pick that. That's fine. Get down, get off the table. Like again.
So basically, it's the scene from Scrubs. My machines, my machines,
They're my machines. Whose machines? My machines.
This is my studio.
This is mine.
Yeah. Anyway, let's lift our spirits with some Henry Cavill. A very
I miss Henry Cavill.
A very Christmassy Henry Cavill. Talking about a gift that he received from Tom Cruise.
And one day I received said coconut cake, which said, "Happy Christmas, Henry," from Tom Cruise.
Right.
Which is pretty cool, by the way.
Right.
And I thought, there's no way I'm eating that. It's going to be like made of healthy stuff. It's going to be paleo or whatever. And, yeah, this is Christmas. I don't do healthy at Christmas.
Yeah.
And eventually a friend came around to my house and saw the cake sitting there and they said, "What's that?" And I said, "Oh, that's a cake from Tom Cruise." And they said, "I'm sorry, say that again?" I said, that's a cake from Tom Cruise. And they went, "Well, why aren't you eating it?" I said, "It's probably healthy." And they went, "Cut it open." Cut it open. It is the most luxurious, unhealthy cake.
Coconut cake.
Yeah, coconut cake.
Yeah.
And so I then ate the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So wholesome.
I don't know why people don't like him because he's fantastic. He's like, will he ever be my Cyclops? Dream. I can only dream of him.
He can't do all the roles, Chris.
Yes, he can.
There's AI.
Yes.
There's AI.
There's AI. He can.
He's each different. He plays every different X-Men. He's like got a bald wig for Professor Xavier. He's good, every single one.
Basically, you want to do Nutty Professor / Austin Powers, just with Henry Cavill playing all the roles.
Yeah.
Look. I've limited it down now. If I want him in the MCU. I want him in the MCU.
Okay.
The only one that makes sense in the MCU for him is Cyclops. That's the only role that makes a little bit of sense.
Weren't they talking about Captain Britain or something?
Captain Britain.
That's lame. Like, come on, don't do that. Don't do that
Too
to
obvious.
the man. Too
Can I be
obvious.
pedantic? He's already been a character in the MCU.
Ah, yes.
Oh yeah, is he?
Wolverine.
Yeah, he was the
Cavalry.
Oh, yeah,
in that
Cavalry.
one 30-second sequence.
Look, having said that, I would also be okay with him taking over as Wolverine. That's never going to happen because I think the fans would riot. Like, to be like, there's only one person that plays Wolverine, and it is Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, now he's back, so
And it makes sense because the older he gets, he can be Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan.
He's got no excuse to not play it all the way until death.
Yeah.
But I could see, another character. I could see Henry Cavill playing Storm in the. I think he could play. He would look great in a bikini.
Of course. I mean, why not? Why not?
He would be the man to pull it off.
I think if he said that pathetic Toad line, everyone would love it. What happens to us Toad when you get struck by lightning?
Actually, in a British accent, in a deep Henry Cavill British accent, maybe it's just that thing where everything sounds better in British. It probably doesn't. This doesn't relate to Neil because he's he doesn't hear accents unless he drives half an hour south or
steps outside. Yeah, so like again, it's only one role.
Yeah,
it's Cyclops. Nothing.
But they'd
else
have to make it Cyclops in the comics, not just, oh hey, I'm one point of a love triangle. They need to make Cyclops.
No, he's the leader of the fucking.
The field team leader of the X-Men, not just.
No.
Yeah, I'm the other one that likes Famke Janssen.
No, it needs to be the kind of guy that goes up to the Avengers and says, "You keep your fucking hands off our mutants. This is mutant problems. We will deal with it. You keep you shut the fuck up." It needs to be that level of Cyclops.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It needs to be that level of man who basically going, "This is a mutant matter. You stay out of it." Like that's the leader we need and want.
Not a 5'4" frat boy.
No.
Like Cavill could definitely. I can see it now.
Oh yeah, no, you can see that happening.
Yeah.
So would you then cast Cat Graham as Jean Grey?
Oh no, because too many people would be mad about obviously the giant race swap they would have done.
Yeah, but look,
Uh,
sometimes they work. Like they did Nick Fury. They
Yeah.
race swapped him. That worked fine. They Idris Elba in Thor, masterful.
The Nick Fury race swap went so well that Marvel actually changed
but
the
they change it
Yeah,
permanently.
they
Like
changed the
that's
comics to Samuel L. Jackson was that perfect.
yeah.
yeah.
They actually came up with a backstory to, how he's the original Nick Fury's half stunt and all this kind of
Yeah.
thing. They
Yeah.
actually came up with a whole backstory because Samuel L. Jackson played that role so well.
Some things
Yeah.
work, you know.
Some things work. Agree. And like again, like, honestly, with those two characters, you can sort of change them around. There's not really a huge problem. But having said that, if you pick them because they're the best actor, that's fine. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that because like I get the best actor. If you pick them because of any other reason and they're shit and they try to insert dumb things into the role, then obviously no,
Yeah.
stop being stupid. So could Cat Graham play an excellent Jean Grey? Yes, that's fine.
But I think Chris would prefer Psylocke, right?
Again, look, if I again, you know my preference. I think look, you've got me down this path now. Fine, we'll go there. Henry Cavill as Warren Worthington. And then obviously who would you cast as Psylocke? Ugh, that's a tough one. And then you do obviously build up the Crimson Dawn arc. Yes, again, that's what again. I've come to the conclusion we will never get the Crimson Dawn arc in the movies. That's fine. Again, I can get that. I understand.
And I don't, frankly, with Disney's track record after Endgame, I don't
Yeah.
trust them with that arc.
Yeah. But I want them to do I want them to see the Crimson Dawn arc. I want them to see then Psylocke was potentially, it wasn't she sort of like their relationship sort of falls apart. Then I want to see him turn back into the Dark Horseman, and then she comes back to bring him back. Like complete the fucking arc, and then make it beautiful. It's like going, come on, no, but no, 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 no. They won't do that because why would they
That's what
give
we
me what
want.
I
They
want?
won't do it. That's
Yeah,
what we want.
why would they give us what we want? Because why would they understand that whilst other X-Men might have the ability of flight, it is nothing to compare to what Angel can do. Angel has true flight. The other ones can sort of hover, float around. No, they can't. They can't keep up with his flight. His body's designed for it. And when he gets his metal wings, he's even more awesome because obviously, they genetically alter him, and so he's stronger, faster. Can shoot
But
giant.
that's what Apocalypse did. He essentially
Yeah.
made the Four Horsemen
Yeah.
the best version, the next step in their evolution.
Yeah, the next division, which is his metal wings, and then it's really fun in the comics how they keep going back from metal wings, non-metal wings with him. They kept swapping back, like depending on like they go like it's like, oh look, his feathers came back. Well, these feathers turned metal. Up back to the metal wings. They're going, they kept switching it, and they're going like, pick one. Feathers or metal, just pick one, just stick
Yeah.
with it. But no, they kept going back and forth. Like they couldn't make up their mind. What a
Yeah, I
timeless.
don't. The current state of Disney, I don't trust them.
I would not trust them with that.
I want
that
them to get
story.
I want them to get the original six right first,
Yeah,
and then expand from there. I don't care if it takes us another 10, 15 years to get
yeah,
all these amazing X-Men stories. Take your time.
yeah. And the main reason why they couldn't do it is because it's a story about a man saving a woman he loves. Oh my God, that would be just you can't do that. You can't do that. And she's been mind controlled by another man. Oh, you can't do that. It's like going, but it was done so well back then. Like honestly, anyway, Jamie, I'm not gonna go like
Yeah.
screw you.
Okay, well
I'm-
let's dive into all things Christmassy and just talk about our favorite Christmas films. Alternately, are there films that aren't Christmas but that you tend to watch at Christmas?
Good question.
For me, obviously, like the movies that I watch the most around Christmas time is Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future, and 90s TMNT. It's just like a holiday thing for me.
Okay.
But if we're going full Christmas, Die Hard, obviously,
Mhm.
Jingle All the Way.
Yep.
Classic.
I do love the original The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Tim Allen, great film.
Scrooge, the Bill Murray one, was always a good laugh.
Yep. That's a good one.
And I really dug Spirited with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds that came out
Okay.
last year, maybe year before.
I think it was the year before. Yeah.
Yeah. Bonus one is The Fat Man. Just Mel Gibson as Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was great, that movie.
Well, yeah, like he gives a kid coal for Christmas because he's been bad, and then that kid hires a hitman to kill Santa. You know, it's ridiculous. It's played straight. Santa's in troubled times, so he outsources the elves to the U.S. military. You know, it's just beautiful. You know.
And like Neil said before, you got to throw in Home Alone. Home Alone,
Yeah.
to me, is a great Christmas movie. I agree with Die Hard. I watch Die Hard every Christmas. Um, Jingle All the Way, definitely 100%. They're just not making really that many good Christmas movies. There's so many romantic Christmas movies
Yeah,
that come out.
Oh, that's what people want to see.
Is it really though? Is it really? I don't want to see that. I just want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger fighting Sinbad over a freaking toy.
Yeah.
And then have realistic costumes of those toys fight each other out with their actual powers,
Yeah.
which also makes no sense.
All for the love of a child, and that is Christmas to me.
Yeah.
Or as you say with Home Alone, watch a small child murder two burglars several times over.
Mhm.
Or watch Bruce Willis save his wife and other employees from an evil German terrorist. Nothing says Christmas like that.
Nothing says Christmas like that.
But Chris, have you watched Kat Graham's Hallmark movie?
Which one's that one?
Came out, I forget what it's called. Something about Advent or something. She gets an Advent calendar and it's magical.
No, I haven't. I'm not. Where's it on? I have not seen it.
Netflix. It just popped up.
When?
Like, I think it's 5 years old, to be honest.
No, if that's not true, I've seen all of. Otherwise, I would have seen it.
No, I'm pretty sure. Let me consult the Google. Yeah, the holiday calendar, 2018.
Okay, there's obviously a movie I need to go see then.
It looks painful. It looks ridiculously painful.
Is it the traditional picture of, a girl standing with a guy back to back and like snow falling and, a Christmas tree in the background? Because that's pretty much every single Hallmark Christmas movie poster in the last 15 years.
I'd even say the last 40 years. No, they're leaning on you know what, I'll just put it in the chat. There you go, Chris.
Yeah, okay. So there's snow in the background.
Yeah.
Well, that looks like a delightful film.
It's not as good as Hot Frosty, though.
Hot Frosty.
I find this offensive. There's no white people on the cover of the movie. That'd make me a racist, apparently.
There's white frosting on the
white frosting. Okay.
on the
That
top
counts. That counts.
Yeah, that's right. Well, okay.
Oh, I'll take a look at that film. It sounds like it's a good one.
What about you,
That's
Neil?
on Christmas duties this afternoon.
That and Hot Frosty.
Yes.
That movie's so stupid. Neil, what are your Christmas go-tos apart from Home Alone?
In the UK, when I was a kid, it was always either Star Wars or Indiana Jones that was on at Christmas time. They are the non-Christmas Christmas movies that I would choose to go to. For actual Christmas movies, it's the only Home Alone films, 1 and 2. There are no others. Once again, I'd say cruise missiles going out to anyone that says otherwise, but we gave them all away. Other than that, Die Hard 1 and 2. I actually consulted Elon's Grok AI over this, and Grok agrees with me that although there are valid reasons why you would not consider Die Hard to be a Christmas movie, you are wrong.
Yep.
So, suck it. And therefore, Die Hard 2, also a Christmas film by default.
Yeah.
That's really it. I'm not trying to be the humbug guy, but I find a lot of the dedicated Christmas films to be a little too high in sugar for my tastes.
Yeah, they're very cheesy.
It's like, oh, isn't that sweet? The little kid loves her new dad, and this couple have fallen in love, and oh, look, the diabetes. It's no. I'm sorry, that's just me. My tastes go a bit darker, and I asked my wife before we started. I said, Christmas films. Name me some Christmas films. And everyone she listed off, I was like, I like it. I like it. Can't stand that one. Saw that one cinema when it came out. Didn't like it.
No,
So
I agree.
I would honestly say, yeah.
They don't make Christmas movies like they used to. You know, I agree, 100% agree with Die Hard. Even though I've very lost a lot of respect for Bruce Willis on the roast of Bruce Willis, his final line was Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, and I thought, wow, I've just lost a lot of respect for you because it damn well is a Christmas movie.
Well, if the last 12 months have taught us anything, it's that we should not be listening to the opinions of actors as they are simply paid pretenders.
Yeah.
Yep.
With all due respect, I've enjoyed a lot of Bruce Willis's work over the years. Sorry, no.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, what I'm going to do, and this will be our last piece of order because it's a long episode, but it is Christmas. I'm going to go into screen share and we're going to bring up the most questionable or the most debated Christmas movies. Ta-da!
Oh, it's Screen Rant.
Yes.
It wouldn't be Christmas without Screen Rant.
Well, would you rather it be IGN? 10 most debatable Christmas movies according to Reddit. Gremlins.
Oh, no.
Ah,
Yes, Christmas film.
Gremlins is a Christmas
Literally,
film.
the whole movie is set on the premise of, here is a Christmas present.
Mhm.
Oh, no, it's produced Gremlins.
It's evil. Yep. Batman Returns. What do you say?
that's definitely a Christmas film.
It's not Christmas without Catwoman, right?
And Batman full
It's
on
not
murders
Christmas
someone in that
without
film, doesn't he?
a supermodel falling to a death and getting impaled on a Christmas tree.
Doesn't he stick a bomb down someone's pants and shove
Yeah.
them off a ledge? Like, Batman doesn't kill people.
No, he lets them
That guy would
die.
be dead.
No,
He's
never-
dead. He all the
Batman
way
didn't
dead.
make the bomb, so he didn't kill the person.
Yeah.
That's his logic.
People don't kill people. Bombs
That's
do.
some government level logic right
No,
there.
and in the Batman film when he had machine guns on his car, those machine guns aren't for killing, they're for hunting.
Disabling.
No, they're
Hunting.
taser rounds.
Taser around. They're hunting. They're for hunting and self-defense only.
What is it? Trading Places.
I haven't seen this film for a very, very, very long time. So, well, I'm guessing there's Dan Aykroyd in a Santa suit, so it has to be.
I think it's Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy.
Tenuous, but I think it is.
Yeah. Now here's the debate. It's called The Night Before Christmas, but it's supposed to be a Halloween movie, from what I've heard.
It is.
I've heard both arguments.
Yeah, I think it's more.
I would argue it's Halloween. It's a Halloween film
it's a
where
Halloween
they're
film,
masquerading as Christmas, but it's still Halloween underneath.
Yeah.
It's a Halloween film.
Yeah. Die Hard, obviously.
Definitely.
Lethal Weapon. I haven't actually thought about that.
Was the first one set in Christmas time?
It must
Again,
be.
it's been a while since I've watched
I
it.
remember them killing people amongst a place selling Christmas trees.
Christmas trees, yeah. Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
I barely remember anything.
I very remember that one.
The only thing I remember from Edward
It wasn't
Scissorhands.
all set at Christmas. It was over a period of time, and it happens to be Christmas for a point in the film.
Yeah.
That's not a
That
Christmas
said,
film.
no, I'm going to say no.
Die Hard 2, obviously.
Yes.
Harry Potter. I don't know enough about Harry Potter to.
Well, technically, I mean, the films are set over a year, so there's always going to be Christmas in one of the films. So I think that's a cop out, to be honest with you. I don't think it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas movie.
The Long Kiss Goodnight. Don't know that movie.
That's a good movie. If anyone's not seen that movie, it is a
No, I don't think I have.
it is a good one. Really, really fun. Gina Davis. The premise of it is she wakes up on a beach. She's been in a coma. She's lost her memory. She was pregnant. She has a kid. She lives in an idyllic small town America setting, and she has amnesia because she was an assassin.
Mm.
And she I can't remember, she was betrayed or she betrayed someone for good reasons, and they attacked her and she got amnesia, but it all starts coming back to her, and the two personalities are kind of vying for which is the dominant one. And Samuel L. Jackson is the private investigator she hires to figure out what the heck is going on. It's a very fun film. Really recommended.
Cool. All right, check it out. That's the last one. You got any last minute Christian films you like to watch, Chris?
No, I think we've mentioned all the good ones anyway. There's like lots of like shitty ones, but like The Grinch as well is another fun one. Jim Carrey.
Even do you know he had to go through like, I think was it CIA level torture level training just to endure that like it was driving him insane that they were like going, here's the things we teach our agents to survive torture. Like apparently he legitimately,
because that was a fun. Oh, that was a good film. That was a good solid film.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take us home with a little video from the voice of Raphael of the OG Ninja Turtles, who also does the voice of Pinky from Pinky and the Brain. I found out. So he sings a Ninja Turtle Christmas for us, and I just, this is me being selfish because.
We wish you a teenage Christmas. We wish you a mutant Christmas. We wish you a ninja Christmas and a turtle New Year.
I love him. He's a great actor.
Narf.
Him, Narf. Them doing the Revenge of the Sith scene with Pinky and the with Pinky and the Brain, with Pinky and what's his name, Seth Green, Chris Griffin doing the lines together. That was just fucking hilarious.
They did a thing where they got him to read out all this. I think it was him and Brain, and they read out lines from Breaking Bad, but as Pinky and the Brain, stuff like that. That's funny. But anyway, thanks guys for listening. Thanks for supporting us this year. Check out our sponsors, Rebecca Cassells, Martin Kearns, and have a very, very Merry Christmas, and we'll see you guys next year. This podcast is brought to you by Martin Kearns and the Valor of Valhalla series. In the battle between two ancient evils, can one naive young man become the last hope against powerful creatures of legend? Beneath the Veil is the gripping first book in the Valor of Valhalla dark urban fantasy series. If you like reluctant heroes, infernal myths, and bloody epic clashes, then you'll love Martin Kearns' formidable foray into the unknown. So head on over to readkearns.com and grab yourself a copy of Beneath the Veil today.